Good morning, God's sons. Good morning, God's chosen sons. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm saying that because that's who you are. And as you continue to follow along in this journey of understanding your word better and understanding what God has for you to do on this planet better, God is going to continue to eliminate just how special and amazing that you are outside of any of your skills on the basketball court or wherever, just from your heart and who he's called you to be and who he's purposed for you to be. And so if you didn't catch yesterday's message, Proverbs 4 and 5, that was a really good message for you guys to listen to. Remember, we're setting the stage for you as you grow. We're going to go from milk to solid food to strong meat to meat and then to strong meat. So don't skip around. Please go in order so that way your heart is ready for every single conversation. Now, Proverbs 6 and 7, all of this stuff you may feel like, oh, it doesn't apply to me. Just listen in, because the Bible's wisdom will always come to help you in the times where they may be able to apply for you, or they'll stop you from getting in trouble in places that you shouldn't be, because you'll have God's training in your mind and in your heart, most importantly. Also, yesterday I did a video that talked about my heart behind these videos, because my husband brought it up. He was like, it looks like you don't want to do it. And I just basically told you guys that, like, yeah, no, that's not it. I'm just very severe with my talking, because this is a very severe moment. And if you don't catch this moment, I don't want you guys to be judged. I want you guys to flourish in all the things that God has for you guys. And then also to have the people around you that look up to you also flourish because of the example that you set. And so if my tone comes off very harsh, it doesn't mean that I'm harsh towards you. It means that I want you to develop that thick skin that you are going to need to stand firm on Yah's word over here. Okay? You're going to need that. And I want you to develop that in all godly love. So let's go ahead and get started. Proverbs 6, the warning against being idle and deceitful. My son, if you have put up security for your neighbor or entered into an agreement with a stranger, you have been snared by your words of your mouth, by the words of your mouth, trapped by the words from your mouth. Do this then, my son, and free yourself, for you have put yourself in your neighbor's power. Go, humble yourself, and plead with your neighbor. Don't give sleep to your eyes or slumber to your eyelids. Escape like a gazelle from a hunter, like a bird from a hunter's trap. I'm going to explain that just a little bit better, because that always gets me before I got a little bit more of understanding. It's talking about when you make a pledge with somebody for somebody else. Just make sure you know who you're getting into bed with, whether it's business, whether it's friendship wise, who you're making deals with. That's very important, because that's why I was telling you guys in beforehand, God will give you discernment, just like he gave King Solomon in his sleep. He gave him wisdom to know who was around him, and God will do the same for you. So that's why it's really careful for you. You have to be careful with who you entangle yourself with, because the higher you are, the harder you fall. Go to the ant, you slacker. This is verse 6. Observe its ways and become wise. Without leader, administration, or ruler, it prepares its provision in summer. It gathers its food during harvest. How long will you stay in bed, you slacker? When will you get up from your sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the arms to rest, and your poverty will come like a robber, your need like a bandit. Stay diligent, stay focused. A worthless person, a wicked man, and I'm going to pause. Even during good times, it's important to stay focused. Don't get lazy. Don't get comfortable. Don't get complacent because of what you see. Stay focused, because in every single season, it's tied to the next. If you miss a step, it kind of comes back to haunt you in the future. Things become harder. Stuff becomes harder when you're not really focused on, paying attention to what's going on around you. A worthless person, a wicked man, goes around speaking dishonestly, winking his eyes, signaling with his feet, and gesturing with his fingers. He always plots evil with perversity in his heart. He stirs up trouble. Therefore, calamity will strike him suddenly, and he will be shattered instantly beyond recovery. The Lord hates 6 things. In fact, 7 are detestable to him. So watch out who you guys are around. Watch out for the people that you are around. This is what Proverbs is talking to you about. This is what King Solomon is talking to you about. The characteristics of the people that you should not be around. Arrogant eyes, people that are haughty. If you're one of those, humble yourself because God will humble you. A lying tongue, tell the truth. Hands that shed innocent blood. A heart that plots wicked schemes. Feet eager to run to evil. A lying witness who gives false testimony. And one who stirs up trouble among brothers. Another warning against immortality. And this is really important because, a lot of the people stir up trouble, talk about you. And I know you guys are very privy to that. But just make sure you watch out for those kind of people. I don't care if they're a reporter, a job, if this and that. No, when somebody speaks, listen to them because they're telling you who they are. And don't try to say, oh, no, it's my job, is this and that. If that's how they are on the camera, then that's how they are. That's who they are. If they can do that for money, then what can they do for more money? Okay, be around trustworthy people. Another warning against immortality. My son, keep your father's command and don't reject your mother's teaching. Always bind them to your heart. Tie them around your neck. When you walk here and there, they will guide you. When you lie down, they will watch over you. When you wake up, they will talk to you. For a command is a lamp, teaching is a light, and corrective discipline is the way to life. They will protect you from an evil woman, from the flattering tongue of a wayward woman. Don't lust in your heart for her beauty or let her captivate you with her eyelashes. For a prostitute's fee is only a loaf of bread, but the wife of another man goes after a precious life. He's talking about it. He's like, hey, okay, y'all know the Bible is full of imperfect men, but you get a prostitute, you pay. But you get another man's wife and you run lawless and you take another man's life, that man may come after your life. And there's a lot of men in jail sitting there because they have gone through crimes of passion. Okay, somebody was sleeping with their wife. Stay away. That's why I always have such a firm demeanor when it comes to the word, because you will need that, because temptation is going to be all around you. Can a man embrace fire and his clothes not be burned? Can a man walk on burning coals? I'm on verse 28. Without scorching his feet? So it is with the one who sleeps with another man's wife. No one who touches her will go unpunished. People don't despise the thief if he steals to satisfy himself when he is hungry. Still, if caught, he must pay 7 times as much. He must give up all the wealth in his house. The one who commits adultery lacks sense. That means sleeping with another man's wife. Whoever does so destroys himself. And there needs to be clarity around that, even though this is one of the topics that I am like, oh God, if you sleep with another woman, there's concubines. Concubines have been in the Bible, right? Now, I'm not telling you to go spread seed everywhere. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm telling you is there are major consequences for sleeping with someone else's wife that's under a covenant. But you also need to just go back, and I always tell this to my husband, and we always have debates about this. It's like, oh, can you sleep with a concubine? Sure, you can. You can have 7 concubines if you want that are unmarried. But how are they going to be for your life? For me, I'm going to talk to you from the original design, man and woman. That's why Solomon was saying, enjoy the wife of your youth. Just enjoy that one woman, because you don't need all these extra women when you have the right godly woman. That's why it's so important to pay attention to who you marry. Okay, so you can be satisfied with the person that you marry and not looking left and right. Okay, but that discipline needs to come from internal. Okay, all right, let's keep going. So, 33. He will get a beating and dishonor, and his disgrace will never be removed. For jealousy enrages a husband, and he will show no mercy when he takes revenge. He will not be appeased by anything or persuaded by lavish bribes. You go after another man's wife, you playing with fire, okay? Don't do that. Protect yourself. Do not do that. That's why it's so important. You have got to drink the Bible like it is water for your soul. because that is the only way that in your environment that you are going to make it. It has to be your best friend. Okay, it has to be everything for you. Proverbs 7. My son, obey my words. And I want to go back to that point because I don't want to rush that point. Please understand the gravity of your life. The higher you are, the harder you fall. And this Bible is meant to coat your mind. So when distractions come, when women come galore, and they're coming, when people, because the economy is getting worse. And so when the economy gets worse, people are going to go to sports to make themselves feel better. But things are going to get worse for people, but they're getting better for you. But if you don't heed the Bible, you will be under judgment just like everyone else. Okay? And God does not want that for you. That's why we're reading the word, to coat ourselves with the armor of the Most High King, so that that way you can protect your heart, your lineage, your blessings, and your children and your family, and your godly inheritance. Okay? And that way you can be an example to the Most High. And honestly, so that the Most High loves your scent. When you call out to the Most High, when your children are sick, when your children are facing something, when your business ventures are going down, when you're wondering who to partner with, and that person turns out to be the biggest scammer ever, God will have already exposed those things because you are already in partnership with Him. Being in partnership with the Most High is the best guarantee for this life. There is no greater guarantee in this world outside of being in partnership with the Most High and understanding how His ways are, or what His ways are the most important for a young soul. King Solomon says in the Bible, it is better to worship God in your youth because you have time to do the things. You're not trying to make up for all the mistakes. You're actually building the Most High's kingdom without all the extra baggage. And that's why adults walk around salty and preying on kids and preying on you guys, because you guys have the opportunity to do something that most adults wasted. Everybody has the opportunity to do that, but you guys have the luxury of a little bit of time and more resources. So dive in deep so that way you can be the example and you can be in partnership with the Most High King, and He can make your righteousness shine like the noonday, just as His word promises. All right, let's go to chapter 7. My son, obey my words and treasure my commands. Keep my commands and live, and guard my instructions as you would the pupil of your eye. Tie them to your fingers. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and call understanding your relative. She will keep you from a forbidden woman. A wayward woman with flattering talk. That's the characteristics of a bad woman. Flattering talk, wayward. Okay? You can only do that with wisdom. At the window of my house, I looked through my lattice. I saw among the inexperienced. I noticed among the youths a young man lacking sense, crossing the street near her corner. He strolled down the road to her house at twilight, in the evening, in the dark of the night. A woman came to meet him dressed like a prostitute, having a hidden agenda. Do you see that? It's not just her beauty that's about to take you down. It's what's in her heart that's about to take you down. She is loud and defiant. Her feet do not stay at home. She likes to be outside in the streets. She don't want to be home. She want to be roaming, finding prey with her beauty. That's what you see, the beauty on the outside, but on the inside, there's a devil ready to take you down. Now in the streets, now in the squares, she lurks at every corner. She's everywhere with the athletes. She has the athlete app, finding men to prey on. And it's not funny, but that's what these girls do. It's crazy. And all their only agenda in their heart is to take you down. She grabs him. Now in the streets, now in the squares, she lurks at every corner. She grabs him and kisses him. She brazenly says to him, I've made fellowship offerings. And I want y'all to understand this. Just because a woman And I have to say this very clearly. Just because a woman is a prostitute doesn't make her a bad woman. And I have to be very clear with that. And just because she is a person that is in church all the time doesn't make her a holy woman. Okay? Only God can show you the heart of man, human beings, woman or men. But if she has the characteristics that she has here, because back in the day, Rahab was a prostitute. But if you understand the time frame, some people do those things because they don't have another choice. Like if you go overseas, there's really no jobs for women. So there might be prostitutes there because it's either prostitution or death, right? And so that God has compassion for. But he's talking about wayward women that are coming in for your soul. And that's what I'm saying. I cannot sit here and say, oh, this kind of woman, this kind of woman. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not going to tell you that. I want you to pray for the person that the Most High has for you. But I also want you to be careful, because even if you marry a prostitute, if she's not pursuing the Most High, if her heart is not there, she's just as toxic as the woman in the Bible. So my goal for you is for prayer and for wisdom and discernment. This woman, of course, this is a bad woman if she's married, right? But there are ways of a woman's heart that the Most High will expose to you if you are connected to him. But if you are not connected to him, he will allow you to go through those things because you're not connected to him. Okay? And that's the whole point. It's showing you characteristics, but also helping you understand that discernment is the most important thing. Discernment, prayer, because Rahab was an amazing woman from the point of view of the Most High. And humans don't have that ability to see the inwardness of the heart. Only he can give you that. So that's why you have to pray about the women that are around you. Verse 14, today I have fulfilled my vows, so I came out to meet you, to search for you. And I found you. I've spread coverings on my bed, richly covered linen from Egypt. I've perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us drink deeply of love making until morning. Let's feast on each other's love. My husband is at home. He went on a long journey. She got married woman. He went on a long journey. He took a bag of silver with him and will come home at the time of the full moon. She seduces him with her persistent pleading. She lures with her flattering talk. He follows her impulsively like an ox going to slaughter, like a deer pounding toward a trap, until an arrow pierces its liver, like a bird darting into a snare. He doesn't know it will cost him his life. Now, sons, he doesn't know that it will cost him his life. Now, sons, listen to me and pay attention to the words from my youth. Do not let your heart turn aside to her ways. Don't stray onto her paths, for she has brought many down to death. Her victims are countless. Her house is the road to Sheol, that's hell, descending to the chambers of death. God gave Solomon the wisdom to talk directly about married women. That's why I'm telling you guys, anybody else under the sun can be a good woman. And that's not to say that the girls that are in church are bad. No, there can be great women. But these are showing you the characteristics of a ungodly woman that will take you down to the pit. And unfortunately, there are so many of them around you guys. They're snakes and they're vipers. So God is not talking about a bad investment. Mind you, he only said that, small part if you get into partnership with somebody, a stranger, and it's not a good partnership. Plead and talk to that person so you can get out of that thing. But the rest of 4, 5, 6, and 7 have been about a wayward woman. Okay, so when the enemy comes as a trap, he doesn't come as a trap on the outside. He comes for the person that's directly going to come towards your heart. And you have to protect that with all diligence, and you can only do that with the word of God. Now, I wanted to show you all the traps, because now that you understand the traps, we need to understand deeper how to communicate with our Maker. What is it that he wants us to do? Because unfortunately, like I will always tell you guys have been robbed of the opportunity of the truth. It is a painful thing that pains, the Most High, because he doesn't have truthful people around you guys. But we're going to be diving into the biblical truth about how to worship the Most High King. Okay? And I understand there are a million different people saying a million different things. This is why I read to you guys directly from the Bible, and we spend 80% of our time going through the Bible, because this is how holiness should be pursued. Not from what my opinion is, but literally from what the word is saying. Not the opinion of a pastor, not somebody that's been brainwashed, but somebody that's been wholly washed, whose mind has been stayed on the things of the Most High King. And I'm going to tell you something. It is not a walk that everybody is walking. It's easy to be religious. It is not that easy to be holy. It is not common to be holy. And that's why I implore you guys, and I strengthen you guys in the word, and I'm here for you guys, and I pray for you guys. And I'm going to pray even more for you guys to really pursue holiness in the middle of all that junk that you're in. And the Lord himself will be your strength. And I am living proof of it. So y'all be blessed. Have a wonderful day, and we will talk on the next one. Bye.